Heyo everybody, it's me. And today I am going to talk about a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for quite a long time now, but I had no idea how to structure it. And the topic I want to talk about is my relationship with Pokemon. Given that Pokemon Legends ZA has just come out recently, I think this would be a perfect time to talk about my relationship with the Pokemon and the current state I am in with Pokemon. And yes, it's just my own personal views on it. And if you have a different view on Pokemon from the views I have, that's perfectly fine. So I'm gonna tell you a wee little bit of a story. Yeah, and I'm gonna structure it in a Q&A way, because I do a much better job just bouncing back and forth the answers and not just having some big old script. So I have been consuming Pokemon since I was in the 6th grade. Yeah, and the 6th grade was around the year 2000, I believe it was. So it's about a good 25 years. Yeah, I heard about it when I was in the 5th grade though, but I didn't really start consuming it until the 6th grade. Yeah, I started with Pokemon Red, and I started with the Squirtle. The first file ever, I ended up getting to the Safari Zone, but I ended up getting broke from the game corner, so I couldn't go in and get the stuff for the Surf and the Strength, and I fought all the trainers that I needed to fight to get money, so I had to redo that file. So, yeah, and I didn't really, all I cared about in the old Pokemon games was going through the story and then just trying to do some in-game content, but I had no idea how the training worked until about the 3rd generation when I started taking the movesets a little more seriously. And then in the 4th generation, I really took it seriously by learning making use of effort value training and the natures. Yep, because I wanted to take the Pokemon from that game into Battle Revolution. I just wanted to steamroll Battle Revolution. I couldn't really do it in Emerald though, because I didn't take the training very seriously. But I did enjoy Pokemon XD and Coliseum. Yeah, those were the wildest Pokemon games, I'm telling ya. I really loved even though it was severely limited, I really liked the prospect of stealing other people's Pokemon. Yep, even though it was restricted to only Shadow Pokemon. Yeah, and speaking of which, I did have a good time with Battle Revolution. I enjoyed it very much. Until about Generation 5, there was no more home console Pokemon games, but it was perfectly fine because yeah, when the Black 2 and White 2 came out, there was the Pokemon World Tournament, which was a really good time. So that was probably pretty much around Generation 4, Generation 5 was pretty much the peak one for me. I really love Gold and Silver. I've really enjoyed going through the Johto region, and then there's the Kanto region. That's why I really liked Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Yeah, I played Heart Gold. It was a really good time. Even though raising the Pokemon back in the days of Pokemon Gold was really, really hard for me. Yeah, leveling them up. So yeah, I think I answered the first few questions. Yeah, so when did I see Pokemon go downhill? Yeah, I kind of started seeing Pokemon go. I wanted to say Generation 5 because the cut on in-game content, but I think it really started going downhill around Generation 6 when they released X and Y. Like, they could have done a whole lot more with it. And yeah, and I know they added more stuff in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which was okay. I just wish Oh, oh, I wish they did the battle frontier in that one. Yeah, I would have really loved to go through the battle frontier. Instead, it was just I think it was called the Battle Chateau, which was the equivalent of the Battle Tower. Yeah, there's several equivalents of the Battle Tower, which I really didn't like about it. Like when you see one Battle Tower, you've seen them all. You can just, yeah, you can change it to themes of something else, but it's just gonna be the Battle Tower. You can't fool me with that bullshit. I know the Sword and Shield Battle Tower was fine, but I still didn't really care for it because I could just raid and Sword and Shield in it, and that was really good. Yeah, and Pokemon Go. Oh Jesus, Pokemon Go, man! All the normies started going in, and I just smelt the downfall. I smelt the downfall from there, and it was stanking up real good. And I knew it was going to get worse from there. The Pokemon trading card game, never really played the Pokemon trading card game very much. I know I played the Game Boy version. I tried to play the online version. I just couldn't really get into it. I do have some of the real life cards, but I just don't have the money to keep up with it. Plus there are some other card games that I really did like much better. Like I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! My favorite card game is Vanguard. Yeah, I think Vanguard's a pretty solid card game, even though the marketing sucks. Anyway, I just went off topic, even though I have the questions. Anyway, where did it go wrong? Actually, before I answer the question of where it went wrong in Scarlet and Violet, I'm going to tell you about when I started streaming the Pokemon game. So back when I first started streaming, I already have Pokemon Shield, which was Crystalline's file. I was actually gonna retire from Pokemon back in Generation 8 because I didn't have the Switch at the time, and I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Yeah, and it was after my sister passed away, and I ended up getting the Switch for my first Christmas without her, and got myself Pokemon Shield and just played through that, and it wasn't too bad. The story was pretty lacking. There was no voice acting at all. Like there are cinematics in that game, in these games, where it would have really benefited from voice acting. Like I think that was where I got the. That's where I got. I don't know if it's vitriol for the Genshin English VA strike. That was where I. That's where I was like really mad when people got muted. That little vitriol, if that's the right word for it, for Genshin Impact last year when the VAs went on strike. Yep, and I just and then eventually the Genshin VAs got exposed. The VAs got exposed for being pretty bad. Oh, not the VAs themselves, the union. I meant the union. Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah, and they just kept go. Yeah, they kept going with the Legends Arceus. They kept going with from this point from every game on. I'm like, oh Jesus! Now you're just being lazy and cheap. Yeah, and yeah, I thought it was gonna get really good after Legends Arceus. I really loved that game. I really loved that game very much. I enjoyed that game very much, but there even that game had problems like the controls. The controls made the game really hard to return to after not playing it for so long. It felt really wonky, if you know what I'm on about. Now, where did it go wrong with Scarlet and Violet? I think one of the things went wrong with Scarlet and Violet was the revamped breeding mechanics. Like back when I was doing the breeding streams for Sword and Shield, I used to put the Pokemon in the daycare and just ran around circles and talked about random stuff until I got about a good box worth of eggs. And then we just I take the eggs, go to the Isle of Armor, and then collect mints on that little island past on the west of the, I think it's the water tower. And then I go to Crown Tundra and then collect more mints there, waiting for the eggs to hatch. And then after I collect the mints, oh yeah, also after I hatch the eggs, I just give the Pokemon to random people online through the random trade and see what I get sometime. And a lot of the times it would be injected Pokemon. Yeah, one of the there was a thing with the injected Pokemon where well, cheating in Pokemon it was a system problem where the only way to get good Pokemon is through exploits and cheating devices. But now they have become more and more streamlined, where it's less excusable to hack the Pokemon, but they still do it anyway. And now they're cracking down on the hacked Pokemon, and people were getting banned from tournaments. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I never took part in any of the VGC tournaments. I was worried that someone's Italian Ditto or Chinese Ditto would get me banned. Yep, or through the cheat checks, I bred all of my Pokemon through those foreign injected Dittos. Oh, anything else? Oh, what else went wrong? Oh, the raids, yeah. So the raids and Pokemon, I was hooked on the raids and back in Pokemon Shield, and I used to farm a lot of the stuff for the TMs and all the other stuff. I actually used to farm the Sparks for exchanging for the luxury balls and then selling it to the store so I can get a whole lot of money. Those were the good old times. Yupper. Yeah, and now in Scarlet and Violet in these raids are really terrible. Like, you have to get, like with Sword and Shield, you can make a general build for each of the types, and it would do just fine. I would get through the raid just fine, but with the NPCs. But when I do the Scarlet and Violet raids, you have to get this very, very specific build for that very specific Terra type. Also for the very specific Pokemon with the specific Terra type. I'm like, good golly, you expect me to dump all my resources in Pokemon that I'm only going to use for those raids. I kind of want to make a competitive team where I can just steamroll through the DLC, and I did steamroll through the DLC, and I even steamrolled through the what's the dragon guy, Elite Four guy's name? I forgot his name. Anyway, I raised the Pokemon I caught from there using the resources I have and just steamrolled through that. Steamrolled through the challenge. That was a good time. Yeah, and I don't even do those really hard raids, those 7-star raids I think they are, or the 6-star raids, where I really have to do it with other people, and even the other people don't know what they're doing. So, and eventually I got bored of it. Oh yeah, and back to the breeding stream where instead of me talking about a whole bunch of stuff, they changed the breeding stream, so I would have to wait for the Pokemon to put the eggs into the basket, where you can have up to about 10 eggs in the basket. And yes, I did an experiment on it where I would leave the game running all night and then check on it the next morning only to find out that there's only 10 eggs in the basket. I have that video on the YouTube, which is not that great. Also, the shiny hunting. The shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet was kind of ass. Yeah, there's no sparkling sound. You have to keep your eyeballs very, very sharp so you can see the shiny. Or you can just sick the Pokemon on it, and if the Pokemon doesn't smack it, then that's a shiny. Yupper. Yeah, whereas in Legends Arceus, you can just hear the sparkling sounds. And that's you hear the sparkling sounds, you have to go frantically looking around for the shiny, and then there's the shiny. Yeah, that was Shiny hunting in Legends Arceus was a lot of fun. So why am I not buying Legends ZA? Well, when the trailer was revealed, or the early parts of it, I found out that the entirety of the game would take place inside Lumio City. I'm like, that's not a legitimate adventure anymore. Where you just go around the city and that's it. Like, I want to go on a huge grandiose adventure with the Pokemon, and that would be a good time. And Game Freak just does not deliver on that grandiose adventure experience. Like, even Final Fantasy does deliver on that grandiose adventure. And I think even Digimon did too, even though it was a little bit of a compact time. Yeah, I only played Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory on that one. Oh yeah, and also, by the way, I did get the Digimon Story, the new Digimon Story game. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm gonna be playing that on stream very soon. Yeah, I just tried to look through my category. Anyway. Yeah, and they claim that this new Pokemon game is gonna be like Dark Souls. I'm like, really? Yeah, the closest thing to a Dark Souls experience was Pac-Man World 2, and I even raged at that one. I got that one as a kid. I'm like, yeah, it's not a difficult. The difficulty is not a deal breaker for me, but everything else is. And then there's the business ethics about Pokemon where they just sue the living crap out of their competition, like Pal World. And then send cease and desist to fan games. I'm not very impressed with that one. So anyway, what's next? I'm just gonna keep an eye out for the Pokemon games and see if they're actually gonna be worth playing again. But because, yeah, I am keeping an eye out. They do crop up quite a lot on the Twitter. And I still love Pokemon very much. I'm just in a really weird place with Pokemon right now. It's like a separation in marriage. You know what I mean? After 25 years of consuming Pokemon, I just don't enjoy it anymore. And maybe because I grew, or maybe because the normies took it over and kicked me out of it, even though I was never really in the Pokemon community to begin with. Yeah. So this is gonna be my video. Over 18 minutes. Wow. Yeah, they usually shoot for 10. Anyway, this was my first video that I made like this. So thank you all for watching. Give the video a subscribe if you want to. Give the video a like if you want to. You can leave a comment if you want to, if you have any questions about what I just said in the last almost 20 minutes. And I should be live very soon. Yeah, my schedule. Yeah, I'm still trying to get back into the swing of things after my failed attempt at college. So until I stream again, take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you all for watching this video, and have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. Have a good one.